This is the Alden Report.
Today's episode is brought to you in part by Wicked Happy. The way you live your life depends on your outlook, and theirs is simple. Be wicked happy. Wicked Happy provides you with apparel to make you smile. So if you want to be wicked happy and you want to look wicked cool, then visit wickedhappy.com, and at checkout, enter in the code RADIO for an additional 15% off your entire order. Again, visit wickedhappy.com, apparel to make you smile.
This is the Alden Report.
All right, so we are here in Blue Bay Studios. It's been a while since I've gone straight to the mic. It's a Saturday in February. It's a little chilly out, and I wanted to talk about something that's really, quite frankly, been, I guess, irritating me, for lack of a better term, and I think it's something that plagues all of us, including myself. And it kind of ties into my first book, Ask More, Get More. It actually ties into it a lot. As human beings on this planet, we all want more, right? We all want more out of life. We all want more out of ourselves. We all want more out of others. We want more, possessions. People say, oh, well, material things don't mean anything to them. But, things like, oh, well, I want a better job, or I want to make more money, or I want a nicer house, or I want a better relationship. I want to lose weight. I'm getting ready to go to the gym right now. I definitely need to drop a few lbs myself. And we want this stuff, right? And a lot of people talk about dreaming big, and you've probably heard my quotes before, and I say dreaming's for sleeping. When we dream about the things that we want, and a lot of times we might even think about the things that we want. But the big missing element for almost everybody, and a lot of times including me, which is we don't do more. We don't do the things that we need to do in order to get the things that we want. We don't do the things that we need to do in order to get the things that we want. If you want more, you need to do more. Plain and simple. That's it. It's such a simple concept. But we procrastinate. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why we procrastinate. One of the biggest reasons why we procrastinate is because of fear and we're overwhelmed by things. For instance, if you have a big task at hand, if you have a big job at hand, if you have something that you're working towards and it's big and there's a lot of stuff to do, naturally, as human beings, our brains, it's the whole fight or flight thing, right? We either fight or we fly away. And a lot of times we fly away from the things that need to be done in order to get the things that we want. Why? Because we don't know what to do. It's overwhelming. It's too much stuff. I'm writing my 7th book, and I got to be honest with you. I don't know that I'm procrastinating. I'm going to be honest, but it's a lot. And there's a lot of things that I need to do in order to get this book published and get it out into the mainstream. And, I haven't put in the work that I need in order to get what I want. I've put in some work, but I haven't put in all of the work. And the thing that really frustrates me with others is that, especially having employed thousands of people throughout the years, a lot of people would come to me and, they've read my books or they've heard me speak. They've listened to this podcast, and they come up to me and they say, man, I was inspired by your book, or I was inspired by what you said. And, I'm going to go ahead and take the necessary steps in order to get what I want. And unfortunately, those necessary steps are hard work, putting in the effort, doing things that you never did before, doing things that you didn't necessarily want to do. See, a lot of things that we want in life, in business, there are certain steps that are necessary for us to take in order to get more. Okay. And it's not fun. I talk about this in my last book, Blueprint to Business. It's the non-sexy stuff in business and in life that gets you ahead. Okay. In this Instagram world, in this TikTok world, in this Snapchat world, in this Facebook world, we always see the result. We see all the ballers out there, and 97% of them are fake, but we see the ones out there and we say, man, I want what they have. And if you study the real ones, like I have, they're putting in the work. They're doing the things that they don't necessarily want to do, right? They're getting up in the morning and pushing forward. Not every day, but for the most part, almost every day. Consistency over and over and over again. I've launched a new business, and this new business is a little bit different than anything I've ever done before. And there are certain regulatory requirements that are necessary for the business, for me, and also for the people that work for me or work with me and that want to be involved in this business. The upside potential in this particular business that I'm talking about, from a pure business perspective, is massive. However, there are things that I need to do. There are things that people who currently do work for me need to do. And then there are things for people who want to work with me or for me need to do that they've never done before. Like, they need to take a course, an actual course, and then they need to take a test. And then they need to pass the test. Not some test that I made up, a test by the regulatory bodies that are involved in this business. They need to be licensed, right? And I've talked to so many people that want to get involved. They want more. They want more out of life. They're tired. The great resignation, they're a part of it, but they do, they want to do stuff. They know that they need to work. They know that they need to generate money, but they got to take a course. And then after the course, they have to take a test, and they have to pass the test. Once they pass the test, literally sky's the limit. Sky is the limit. And I'm frustrated by people's talk and lack of action. So many of us talk about the things that we want, and we talk about the things that we're hoping to get, and the things that we feel as though that we deserve. Well, the world doesn't owe you anything. You don't deserve anything. You get what you put in. So if you put in the work, you're going to get it back. And that's the hard thing, man, is like, you put in all this effort a lot of times and you don't see it right away. It takes time. Okay. I've been on this planet for 40 plus years, and I'm continuing to work. And, look, it's not perfect. I'm not perfect. There are days where I don't put in the work. There are days where I procrastinate. I talk about procrastination in my first book, Ask More, Get More. And I talk about it as being the failure disease. It's true. Every day that goes by in my life, I think a little bit more and more about, okay, well, I'm almost at the, halfway mark. I may be even there now. Who knows? And I'm nowhere near where I need to be. Nowhere near where I want to be financially, emotionally, physically. Like I said, definitely could drop some LBs. But I also know that I need to put in the work, and I need to find the time to put in the work, and I need to set aside the time to put in the work, and I need to commit. If I want more, I need to do more. If you want more, you need to do more. I mean, it doesn't get any more simple than this. And, one of the other reasons why people don't do it, when I talked about fear, it's the fear of failure, especially as it relates to taking a test. Look, the last test I took was the bar exam, which was 18 years ago. Can't believe it was that long ago. And whoever they is, say it's one of the most difficult standardized tests that you can take. You have your medical boards, you have the CPA exam, and you have the bar exam. Take your pick. They're all pretty hard. And the stakes are high. You either pass or you fail. Now, I don't believe in the term failure. You've heard me talk about that before. You either pass or you don't pass. You fail if you decide that you're not going to take it again after not passing, right? And if you don't pass for the bar exam, you have to wait 6 months. 6 months before you can take it again. So the stakes are really high there. But if you go to law school, I went to law school nights, you go to law school for 4 years, nights, while working, then you study for the bar exam, then you take the bar exam, and you don't pass, it's a gut punch, man. It doesn't feel good. However, I knew what I wanted. By the way, I didn't pass the first time. Talked about this in my books. In fact, I have it around here somewhere in the office. I have the rejection letter framed. We regret to inform that you didn't pass. I knew that if I wanted that, if I wanted to become a lawyer, I had no choice. I had to put in the work. The first time around, I didn't put in the work. There's a lot of reasons why I didn't put in the work. Ultimately, I was working to generate money because I just declared bankruptcy. So I'm not making an excuse, but that's really what happened. And I just, I could have spent more time, no question, but I didn't. And I didn't pass. Second time around, I studied for 13 weeks straight. I took 2 days off and I crushed it. Crazy part about the bar exam is you don't necessarily know your score when you pass, but you do when you don't pass. So, but I know I crushed it because I put in the work. And did I want to study for almost 10 hours a day? 10 hours a day. Every single day. 7 days a week. I took 2 days off during that time. And that's what it took. Now, there are a lot of things that people want where the stakes aren't as high and there's not as much work, but they just don't do it. I help authors, right? People know this. I help authors with their books. I help them, get to the bestseller list, and I coach authors on, what they need to do. And that's also why I'm behind a little bit on my own book, because I'm helping other authors. But I work with them and show them the steps that are necessary in order to get the book to the finish line, to get it so that it's in a publishable form. And there are so many people that reach out to me almost on a daily basis that talk about their book, talk about what they want to do with their book, talk about, the success that they dream about with their book, and they don't put in the effort. If you want more, you need to do more. Plain and simple. You want more, you do more. If you don't want more, then you don't do more. But if you want more out of life, if you want more out of yourself, if you want more out of your family, whatever it is, you need to put in more effort. People talk about don't work hard, work smart. Well, that's true, but you still need to work hard. You have to work hard in order to get what you need. It's a basic law. I've talked a little bit earlier about, throughout the podcast about the necessary laws of success. And one of them I've talked about at length on my podcast, usually with other guests, and that is about pain. It's a necessary law of success. You have to go through pain. Plain and simple. You don't go through pain, you won't be successful. In the truest sense. Look, you inherit shit, whatever, that's different. You're not successful. You win the lottery, you're not successful. I'm talking about putting in the work, going through the struggle, getting knocked down over and over and over again. That's the type of stuff that happens in order to be successful. And it frustrates me, and it saddens me that there are so many people who want more out of life that I know can get it. Able-bodied people with the time, with the resources to get more, but they don't do more. You see all these memes on social media talking, and other influencers out there talking about, hey, well, you're spending all this time on Netflix, or you're spending all this time playing Call of Duty, or spending all this time, on Fortnite or whatever, and you're not putting in work. It's true. Look, I'm on Netflix. I watch stuff, but I put in the work. But I also want you to understand that I'm not perfect. I need to put in more work. This little podcast that I'm doing right now here, in a way, is actually for me as well. Because I had mentioned earlier, there are certain things that I still want and I still need, but I need to work harder. I need to work smarter as well. I need to put in the effort. If I want more, I need to do more. And I'm telling you that. I'm not sitting from, a pedestal telling everybody how great I am and how I do the work all the time. And therefore, you need to just do it because I say it. Look, anybody who's out there is acting like they're perfect, they're just liars. We're all human, okay? And, the amount of effort that you need to put in, quite frankly, is not a lot. You need to do more. You need to work harder. But it's not the type of thing that you see, again, out on social media, on Facebook and Instagram, where you need to just go all in or you need to 10x your activity. Listen, I'm a fan of the 10x rule. I'm a big fan of Grant Cardone and what he's doing for people. I think Grant is a brilliant businessman. I've befriended him. I was on his show, Power Players. He's been on my podcast a couple of times, but I think a lot of people misinterpret what the 10x rule really is. It's not 10xing automatically. It's doing a little bit more each and every single day, very similar to 5% more. Because he's done a much better job at marketing the 10x rule and the 10x brand. And when people see that, they think, oh, well, I need to 10x my activity, and therefore they just don't do it. No, that's not. You just need to start. And here's the thing that I've realized as well, especially as it relates to something that you don't want to do, right? If you don't want to do it and you do it, it becomes so much easier, right? It's like going to the gym. I'm on my way to the gym now. It's in the same campus as where our office is. So I wanted to do this first. I'm not really too psyched about going to the gym right now, but I'm going to the gym and I'm going to do cardio, and I'm not a big fan of cardio, but I'm going to be doing cardio. And here's the thing about it though. It's about showing up, right? You hear this a lot. It's about showing up. You want more out of life. You want more financially. You want more material things. You not only have to do more, the first thing you need to do is you need to show up, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean physically showing up. I mean, showing up and doing what you need to do. When I say show up, if you're writing a book and you decide that you want to have the book out in X amount of months, well, you have to put that timeline in place, and you have to think about what are the steps that I need to take in order to move forward and do the things that are necessary in order to publish that book. So you need to show up each and every day in order to get that done. But when you do show up and you do the thing that you might not necessarily want to do, it does just become easier, man. It just becomes so much easier. So if you're listening right now or you're watching right now, think about the things that you want. Think about what you need to do to get those things and just start. When there's a lot of different goal setting techniques, good, better, best. And then you have a stretch goal usually. And a lot of people say, set your goal to the moon, and if you meet it halfway, then you're good, which is kind of true. But here's the thing. The brain sees a big task like that, like, oh, I want to go to the moon, right? I want to go to the moon. Well, it is such a big goal, such an overwhelming, daunting goal that the brain, and as humans, we shut down. We think about it, we want it, we think we can get it, we dream about it, but in all reality, our brain says, nah, not going to happen. No way you're going to the moon. It's just not possible. It's too big of a goal. What I like to do is I like to set micro goals, daily goals, so you can compound on them. This gets into my book, 5% More, where we talk about the daily activity, just doing a little bit more each and every single day. But you have to do more, and you have to start. I mean, right now, people are struggling. And I don't think we've even come close to seeing the worst of what has happened over the past 2.5 years. It's actually going to get worse. Because of the monetary things that have happened by both the United States and every world government, there's just no way that this stuff isn't going to come back and wreak havoc financially on the world's economies. And so knowing that, you're going to have to even work harder when that happens. So why not start now? Why not start working harder now? Why not start doing more now so you're prepared then when things actually happen? And I've been telling myself this. Okay, I've been telling myself this for the past 2 years. And, I do a lot. I do a lot. But I know I can do more. I know I can work harder. I know I can work smarter. And, I need to remind myself of that. And this podcast, again, is a bit, being a little selfish. I'm speaking to myself here too, guys and girls listening right now. I'm not just preaching to you and, again, telling you what you need to do. No, I'm just talking what's reality. Look, I want more. I want you to have more. And you deserve more. The world doesn't owe you anything, but you do deserve more. And regardless of where you're at right now financially, regardless of what is going on in your life, regardless of your skin color, your age, your physical abilities and or disabilities, you can do more. If you're alive and breathing, you can do more. I'm going to just give you one technique that just works. Talk about it in my first book, Ask More, Get More. Each and every day, when you wake up in the morning, remind yourself of one, how lucky you are and how grateful you are for being here. But also tell yourself the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, this is what I like to do. Freaks Shauna out. Clap my hands. I don't do that. I don't clap my hands because I want to wake her up. But the first thing I do when I open my eyes, I say, man, boy, I am just grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be here. And I'm going to crush it today. Now, others would say, well, be very specific. What exactly you're going to do? Write it down. Okay. All those things work as well. But I start out in a more general sense that, hey, I'm going to crush it today. I'm going to have a great day. Then after that, I think about the things that need to be accomplished. A lot of times I already have a schedule in place. I have, meetings already in place, so I know what I'm going to do. But I tell myself I'm going to have a great day. Even if I wake up and I feel like crap, I want you to do that. Tomorrow morning, I want you to wake up. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to remind yourself of how grateful you are to be alive. And the next thing I want you to do is I want you to tell yourself You're going to crush it today. You're going to have a great day. You're going to have a productive day. And then think about the things that need to be done and accomplish them. And when you do that each and every day, it just gets easier. These are the things that I know work, and they're simple. All right. I hope you enjoyed this straight to the mic session. My name is Mike Alden. Listen, if you enjoyed this podcast, if you like this podcast, if you're watching it right now on YouTube, if you're watching it right now on Instagram, if it's a clip or whatever, if you're watching it on TikTok, wherever you're watching it or wherever you're listening to it, I'd ask that you review it, that you share it, and you show some love. Again, my name is Mike Alden. This has been another edition of the Alden Report, and we'll see you soon.
Today's episode is brought to you in part by Wicked Happy. The way you live your life depends on your outlook, and theirs is simple. Be wicked happy. Wicked Happy provides you with apparel to make you smile. So if you want to be wicked happy and you want to look wicked cool, then visit wickedhappy.com, and at checkout, enter in the code RADIO for an additional 15% off your entire order. Again, visit wickedhappy.com, apparel to make you smile.